So I have a PDF pulled up here and I want to see if it is OCR'd. Now, what is OCR? It's object character recognition. It's a fancy way of saying, hey, does your PDF recognize text right now? Can you manipulate text? And the best way to find out is to go onto the page, zoom into a piece of text, and press Shift T. So if I press Shift T, and I try to select a piece of text just by clicking and dragging, and it looks something like this, where it's very clear that it's selecting an A, blah, or let's say I can copy it, press C, and then Control V, you get the actual text, right? So that means it's OCR'd. It's able to recognize text. If it's not OCR'd, it's gonna look something like this. So this logo is not OCR'd. So you can kind of see, like I try to drag over this, and it's not selecting anything, right? I'm dragging and pulling, and it's not selecting text. It's selecting, it's selecting. So some of it's OCR'd and some of it's not. So what you can do if you get something like this is you can actually run an OCR on the actual documents, and it will convert everything to text. So why does this matter? Well, when we go to batch hyperlink or hyperlink a document, it will want to grab the text and add a hyperlink. So if you are referencing a page up here, like let's say there's a keynote that says see page whatever, and it has the page number, when you run a batch hyperlink, it will grab the text and add a hyperlink. If it can't recognize text, you can't do a batch hyperlink as properly as you want. So that's why you want to OCR prior to doing a batch hyperlink. In order to OCR a document, all you have to do is click the hotkey or the shortcut for OCRing a document. You have an option of clicking Control-Shift-O. Don't mix that up with Control-O because it's opening something. Control-Shift-O will open up an OCR prompt, basically. And you also don't need to use the hotkey. You can also just go to Document and press OCR. Either way, you're going to have this pop up and you're going to click here and say, okay, what files do you want to OCR? I recommend doing one file at a time, like multiple pages within a file, but just one document can have a number of pages. Just know if you're gonna have like a large set, like over 20 pages, you could be sitting a very long time because this is not an easy process. So select the page you want to do. Select your language. CAD drawings is usually what I sit at because most drawings, that's where they come from. And then you can click through here and do correct skew, detect orientation, detect vertical text. I'm gonna check that on, all kinds of stuff. And I'm gonna press OK. Now it's gonna load them, so you saw that, right? But now it's OCRing. So sometimes people think just to load the drawings, they think, oh, I'm done. But this is actually what happens afterwards. Sometimes this menu doesn't even pop up. So you're just looking at the OCR menu and it's done once that OCR menu goes away. So you saw that OCR went away. So if that OCR menu is still open, that means it's still running your OCR. I've had that so many times, it's so confusing. Looks like they fixed it in the new subscription to Bluebeam, but if you have Bluebeam Extreme or some of the legacy Bluebeams, you'll know that it doesn't really show you what's happening. So if that window is still open, that means that. So we already had an OCR document, but let's see if it grabbed this text. So Shift T, and it looks like it did. So it looks like now I can select this. It's very different than the way that it looked before, right? We had that weird window thing. This is actually, like, it looked something like this. And now you can actually select the text. So we know it worked. And now what you can do is go into a batch hyperlink or do anything that you can detect text. You can also search. Now that you have text, it's searchable, right? Because now it can recognize the text. You can search it, you can batch hyperlink it, you can do a lot of different things with your document. Again, this is one of the first steps that I do when receiving a document. I check, is it OCR? That's like number one. It should be on your checklist. Like, is it OCR? Because if it's not, you're totally screwing yourself down the road on later processes in Bluebeam. Now that you know how to OCR a document, I do recommend now that you should go watch a batch hyperlink video, which I will post shortly. So I'll link it in the description once I have that filmed. The other thing is I also film a whole Bluebeam course on Skillshare, which has a 30-day free trial. So you can log on to Skillshare, take the class, and then cancel, so you don't have to pay anything. So that's an option if you are interested in Bluebeam. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.